My name is James King. I'm the minister for the Apple Hill Church of Christ, but my hobby is music, and I've been playing music and listening to music for over 45 years. The first album I remember buying is the first Creedence Clearwater Revival album, the one that had Susie Q on it. It wasn't LP, it was vinyl, and have bought a number of their recordings since that period of time. As far as the relationship I have with music, one of the changes is it's broadened over the years. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music now, and I don't play as much as I used to. When I began learning, I would play probably 4 hours a day, and now I doubt that I play 4 hours in a month. But I still enjoy it, and so that's what keeps it interesting for me. Been playing guitar for 45 years, maybe a little longer. Started out playing guitar in junior high school, and then took up playing bass and played drums a little and mandolin some, but mainly consider myself a bass player. But guitar is where it all started. Probably one of the greatest influences in how I shaped my musical preferences had to do with the music that I heard around my home. My mother had a reel-to-reel tape player, and on that she would play a variety of different kinds of music, not just country music, which is what she listened to a lot, but she also would play Rodgers and Hammerstein. She would have a number of even operas as well as show tunes, things of that nature. So I got a very broad influence, different influences that I was able to listen to growing up, and that opened me up to listen to a lot of different things. I have been influenced by both my children and my grandchildren, and some of the music that I listen to, they hear some things that normally I probably wouldn't look for. So it gives me an opportunity to kind of see what all is out there. The most recent way I listened to music was in the car, listening to in fact it was a Doobie Brothers CD. One way that I have not listened to music in a long time is by 8-track, primarily because I don't have an 8-track player. But even if I did, I doubt that I would do much of that because the sound reproduction really isn't all that great. And with digital and vinyl and even cassette, the reproduction seems to be much better. I would say the future of music purchases will probably become more and more digital in nature. Fewer and fewer of what we would call whole albums being released, and more things being released as the material is produced. So more EPs or even singles, and less emphasis probably on albums as a whole. With all of the changes that are taking place in the world of music, I think one of the big questions is where's the music going to come from? And I think more and more of that's going to come from what we would call independently produced material. We're going to hear from a lot of different groups that we wouldn't have heard from otherwise through the old record company machine. The challenge is going to be having ears and eyes open to see where all of that music's been played and where we can get hold of it. The comeback of vinyl is really interesting. I think it began probably as people realized that as digital recordings were made, there was just a little something missing, a warmth that you received or you could hear from the vinyl reproduction. So I think vinyl is here to stay, probably in a limited sense, because I think digital music and purchases over the internet are probably going to drive the music business, but I think vinyl is back and here to stay. the return of some music on cassettes, that's kind of an interesting idea. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but I do think that there is a market for that. There will be some that will enjoy the music on cassette, and the reproduction is not bad.